everybody, welcome back to Homestead Heart. And today I am outside gathering up my moringa leaves, and as you can see, I'm dropping a lot of them on the ground because they are so dry, you all. But as you can see, they are completely dry. They were actually dry yesterday in 24 hours, like I said, because this greenhouse gets really hot in here, but we do have some airflow, so they are completely dry. So I'm just picking them all up. And like I said, I'm dropping some, but that's okay. Hopefully I'll have more than I'm losing on the ground. No! So what I'm going to do, I've lost quite a few leaves just on the ground because they are so dry. Maybe next time what I should do is probably hang them from the rack. So this is what they look like, all dried up now. So now we're going to take them inside and get them processed. All right, y'all, so I am back inside. I have already started processing these moringa already, you all. As you can see, this is what they look like. I mean, the leaves are all, I'm losing them. They all dried up, right? And so all I'm doing literally is just taking these leaves and I'm literally just mashing them, and they just falling right off the stem as I mash them. They are literally just falling right off the stem into my bowl. Now, I know it's highly possible that there is a much easier way to do this, but for some reason, I actually find this kind of therapeutic. I find this kind of relaxing to just stand here and squeeze leaves. And they fall off really easy too. I'm just literally squeezing them, and they're falling right off the stems into my bowl. I was originally doing it right into my mason jar, but they were just going everywhere anyway, so I just got a big bowl and decided to squeeze them off into the bowl. Okay? Yeah, and that's pretty much it, and they all just kind of come off, and then I'm just left with this stem right here. Yeah. So now that's all I'm doing, but I will bring you in closer so that you can have a closer look at what I am doing here. So this to me, I don't know, this is really exciting to me, very relaxing for me to be able to do it this way, okay? So I'm going to bring y'all a little bit closer. All right, y'all. So as you can see, like I said, I'm literally just squeezing the leaves, and when I squeeze them, they fall off. They fall off right into the bowl. So I know that there's, like I said, probably a better way, an easier way to do this. But I really like this. I really like doing it this way. I'm just taking my time doing it, you know? Look at that. See how they just fall off? When you just squeeze them. I just really like that. Look at that. Oops, hold up. Just squeeze and they fall. I think I dropped a whole stem in here. But that's okay. Even if I did drop like a piece of stem in here, I'm going to be making this into a tea. I've decided to keep the leaves as they are and not grind them into a powder, because I'm not going to be making like capsules or anything like that. Now, I know some people will like grind them into a powder and maybe mix it in with water, or they may use it to cook with it, you know. But from what I have researched, if the temperatures on this moringa gets a bit too high, they start to lose the nutritional value that they once had. So you don't want to like cook them in soups and stews for a long period of time. You actually just you want to try to preserve them as best as you can in their natural state without over processing them through cooking. We don't want to diminish the value of these leaves, okay? Now, if you look here, there are some stem pieces still in that. See that one hanging there? And the reason why I guess this is not a big deal for me is because when I get ready to make my tea, I'm literally just going to take like a half a teaspoon of this. Now, from my understanding, if you've never had fresh moringa before and you want to use it as a tea or something like that, it is recommended that you start with a low amount, like a half a teaspoon or so in your tea. So that would be what's recommended. Now, I'm not new to moringa. I have had moringa capsules, you know, powdered form, but I don't think those tablets are as potent as these leaves right here that were just harvested from the tree. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start with a half a teaspoon of these leaves for the first couple of days or so, and then I'll work my way up eventually to a full tablespoon of moringa leaves per cup of tea. And I'm going to try to have this cup of tea twice a day, once in the morning on an empty stomach, and then once at night before I go to bed. Okay, so now I'm not going to process all of these or pull all of these off the stems on camera, but I am going to show you what I'm going to do with them next. Okay, so you know, having fresh moringa, I understand like this is a major benefit. You know, to be able to grow moringa is excellent, especially since it's primarily grown in warmer climates, right? It's primarily grown in areas where it's very, very hot. You know, like in Africa, in India, and also in Mexico, Puerto Rico, other places like that where it's really, really warm at, right? So to be able to grow this in the South and to have them to come back time and time again, that to me is like a great benefit right there. So I'm real happy to be able to do this. So what I'm going to do, you all, is go ahead and what I'm going to do, good boy, that's a good boy, bud, good boy, that's right, you on your job. What I'm going to do is show you now what I'm doing next. And I have mine, and you can see how easy they fall off, right? Because they're all over my counters. And my counters are clean. I'm just raking that in the bowl. And then I'm literally just going to take this and put it in my jar right here. Let me bring this closer right here so you can see it. I'm just taking it, I'm putting it in my ball jars. And I'm not going to compact this either because I really don't want to like bust them up too much, you know. I do want the leaves to stay just like they are, okay? I don't want them too crumbly. But when I get ready to make my tea, I am going to just like crumble them up a bit more with the tea to get them in my infuser. And believe it or not, although this jar is just about full of moringa leaves, this is not probably going to be enough to last us for a year or so until we can get more moringa to grow in the summer, right? So I don't know. It looks like I may have, I may get enough for like 1.5 of these jars right here. But if we're going to be drinking this tea the way I believe we're going to be drinking it, this probably won't be enough. So I'm looking forward to getting another harvest. So I'm going to get all of these done and I'll bring y'all back when it's all done. I forgot to mention, you all, how am I going to store this? I'm going to leave it in this jar. I'm going to put it in a cool, dry place, at a place where it's dark. I will not have this just sitting on the counter. I will, if I were you, if you have moringa leaves or powder, I wouldn't just leave them out on the counter. I would put them in a cabinet somewhere to where they are not being exposed to light. All right. I'm not going to put an oxygen absorber in here, because it doesn't matter to me that the oxygen is not in here. These leaves are dry, okay? So no oxygen absorber needed, but I do have them in my glass jar with a nice tight lid on it, and they will go in a cool, dry, dark, primarily dark place, okay? So that's how I'm going to be storing my moringa leaves.